Hello! Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Poncho Joe's here.
Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Sal? Is that you in the shower? Oh. Oh. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Ah. Oh.
Why, Ken?
Why, Joe Zaso? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, it's a Halloween, so I thought I would do sort of a psycho sort of homage.
Isn't that a bit cliched?
Well, I don't know. You're the horror king. I mean, if it was like a scary musical like Lestat or Jekyll and Hyde, those are two horrors right there.
Oh, man, come on. If you're gonna go with cliches, you might as well go with the staticky TV set. How's that sound, huh?
We're on cable access. That's a given.
Or the mysterious phone caller. Hello? He's calling from inside the shower.
Well, how many people you got in there, Joe? Whoa, what's that? Anyone have any horseshoes? Time for breakfast. Joe, I told you, we don't have a budget. This isn't a prop night.
Oh, well. I guess it's now time for the Joe Show. To some, I'm known as Lieutenant Angelo Santana. But mankind will soon know me as their desolate one, the fallen angel who will rise to claim his kingdom.
Buster.
Don't worship me. I don't want a pitiful coward in my army. Now you'll learn something. Scum.
For the people out there who don't know Joe Zaso, could you tell us a little bit about who
is Joe Zaso?
Yeah, who is
Renaissance man, actually.
Okay.
I'm an actor and I'm a producer of low budget horror films and indie and what you call art house kind of weird cinema and such. And I have been in a lot of films that have shown at Showtime, or the kind of films I should say at Showtime. It's 3 o'clock in the morning kind of things. But the films that are made in Germany, Italy. Now soon will be another one made in the UK. And I pay homage to a lot of films from the 70s and 80s in Italian horror. So that's more my ballad, is kind of that kind of cinema, more or less. Not classic horror, not modern horror, but just kind of that the kind of stuff that I found important as a kid and such. And the kind of stuff I'm trying to bring into today's youth, because I don't like today's films that much. So
you were more like the Italian style horror films?
Yeah, like the stuff from this. Like my favorite director is Dario Argento, who has done a lot of things over the years. He's had his ups and downs, but he's always been inspirational to me. And something about, I don't know why, but the Italian horror films always just have that certain, they have their flaws. I mean, there's bad dubbing and kind of various production value problems, but there's a certain, there's a spirit to them that just I find really compelling. A lot of people feel the same way, and that's why I just try to take that sensation, that structure, and bring it into a modern filmmaking. So it just sticks with me. And yeah.
I still can't figure this out, Sandro. The situation in Italy is much different than the United States. There really aren't any serial killers here. A serial killer is someone who slaughters for reasons like inadequacy, sexual or social or...
and so on. But Italy is full of frustrated people.
Yes, but American society is a much more competitive one. We expect so much from each other. In Italy, life is not such a contest. It's much more tranquil. That's why I'm here.
Now, you say that you do like more the low budget type stuff, but I mean, I don't know. I sometimes find that when a movie is too produced, too slick, it's not as scary. There's something about it.
Well, they have too many bright lights on at all times when you have big names attached to everything. I mean, I think the bigger studio films never come off as, it's because they, like you said, they're too slick. There's something about them that's just, it looks like a theme park almost. Some films are just the way they're just too happy appearing. You know, they're not savage enough. They're not dark enough. They're not experimental enough. So that's why I think a lot of times the underground stuff, the grindhouse kind of stuff, is always more fun to me. So
right, and and there's also something about like maybe if the lighting isn't perfect or like there's a little shakiness or something.
The crudeness, yeah.
Right, so that lends more of like a realism to it, rather than smooth, like tracking shot or something. Now, with some of the films, I mean, I know everybody asks you this, but but it's good to know, like, what are some of the films that you first saw that you said, oh man, I gotta get into this?
Yeah, let's see. Movies like, well, my favorite horror film of all time is The Omen, the original Omen, not the new stuff. Okay. And I remember petrifying me as a kid, so that just gave me a sensation forever that stuck with me. But movies that really made me want to go to college and become a filmmaker and all that stuff, like Gremlins. I mean, this is like, we're going back, I was like 13, but still, it motivated me. Stuff like that, Gremlins, Creepshow, Carrie, I mean, those kind of things. And I mean, I have to admit, I didn't really get a taste for fine filmmakers like Fellini and that Woody Allen and all that stuff till later in life. But that motivated me. And I mean, it's funny because there are a lot of, especially nowadays, there are a lot of young filmmakers who they need to learn about fine filmmakers from the past, the proper kind of filmmaking. But what motivates them also is stuff like Quentin Tarantino. I mean, although I'm not a fan of Michael Bay, but still, if stuff like that motivates them to make films, great. But they just need to learn more. So keep it going. Learn. It's not just about cut.
Now, when you saw these films and you're a kid and stuff, did you think, I want to be in these films, or I want to direct these films, or I want to make these films? I
think just make them, actually. I mean, I was really more into making films, producing films, or directing, all those things behind the scenes up until my late teens, and then I started getting into acting, when you get to that age. And one of the things I did during and after college, I pursued a career in acting. In fact, I went to Hollywood for one summer. It was the summer of '92. And I found it was difficult to get agents. It was because you're like one of millions that are trying to break into the business. And I decided at one point to apply my filmmaking skills and the connections I had with my collaborators, my colleagues and such, and start my own company called Cinema Image Productions. And what happened is it just kept growing and growing. I was an actor-producer, and I was also helping wannabe directors and wannabe effects people build their resumes. So with each film, they just kept growing and growing. And I was pursuing my dream, but like from the back ends, more or less. Still, I'm still rising, little. I still haven't arrived yet, so I'm a long way from there. But
well, I think you've arrived in certain regards. I mean, I'm not somebody who is, like so like a horror fanatic. I like horror movies, like scary stuff, definitely. But I mean, I know who you are. So I mean,
thanks to the internet. So,